पहिलं तर तुमचं अभिनंदन की इट हिट हार्ड हे जे पुस्तक जे आहे ते प्रकाशित होत आहे. नेमकं ह्या पुस्तकामध्ये काय आहे आणि काय वैशिष्ट्य पूर्ण लिहिलेलं आहे याच्यामध्ये आणि लोकांनी का वाचावं असं तुम्हाला वाटतं?
नमस्कार, मी ॲडव्होकेट गौरी छाबरिया आणि महाराष्ट्र स्टेट वुमेन कमिशनची मेंबर. हे पुस्तक लिहायचं उद्देश हेच होतं की सगळे लोक जे पॅन्डेमिकमध्ये खूप त्रासामध्ये होते आणि काय काय त्यांनी आपले एक्सपिरियन्स केले हे सगळं आपल्या सगळ्या लोकांना माहीत व्हायचं जरुरी आहे. कशाला म्हणजे जे बाहेर जे लोक जसं की फ्रंटलाईन वर्कर्स जे काम करत होते, आम्ही तरी घरी होतो, पण जे फ्रंटलाईन वर्कर्स जसे पोलीस ऑफिसर्स, बाकीचे जे BMC वर्कर्स, डॉक्टर्स, नर्सेस, या सगळ्यांना तरी मी सल्यूट करते. ह्या लोकांनी एवढं सॅक्रिफाईस केलं आणि त्याच्यामुळे आम्ही घरी सगळं काय आम्हाला मिळालं आणि आम्ही व्यवस्थिशीर राहिलो. तर ह्यांची सगळ्यांचे एक्सपिरियन्सेस जे आहेत ह्याच्यामध्ये 22 लोकांचे मी वेगळे वेगळे त्यांचे एक्सपिरियन्सेसचे इंटरव्ह्यू घेतलेले आहेत. तर काही डॉक्टर्स आहेत, काही सायकोलॉजिस्ट आहेत, काही मीडियावाले आहेत, असे भरपूर चांगले चांगले प्रमुख लोक आहेत ज्यांच्या मी इंटरव्ह्यूज आणि त्यांच्या एक्सपिरियन्सेस ह्याच्यामध्ये शेअर केले. आणि माझं हेच आहे उद्देश की जे आपले यूथ्स आहेत, जे आपले सगळे सिटिझन्स ऑफ मुंबई आहेत आणि ग्लोबली पण जे काय सगळे आहेत त्यांनी हे बघावं आणि मग आम्हाला असं वाटेल की किती काय या लोकांनी केले. हे आम्हाला याच्याबद्दल काही कल्पना नाही आहे. भरपूर सॅक्रिफायसेस केले आणि आम्हाला असं वाटलं की आम्ही घरी आहे म्हणून अरे कंटाळलो आणि काय केलो, तर नाही, आम्ही तरी मजेतच होतो. पण या लोकांनी आपली लाईफ जी आहेत, किती लोकांची लाईफ गेली ह्याच्यामध्ये आणि किती लोकांना किती त्रास झाला का, म्हणजे त्यांना कोविड वगैरे झालं तर त्यांनी खरंच त्यांना एक ICUमध्ये वगैरे जाऊन आणि कधी इंजेक्शन मिळालं नाही, कधी काय झालं, काही वाचले आणि भरपूर जे आहेत आम्हाला सोडून गेले. तर ह्या लोकांना आम्ही त्यांची किंमत करायला पाहिजेत, त्यांना आम्ही नेहमी आठवण ठेवायला पाहिजे की त्यांच्यामुळे आज आम्ही इकडं सुखी आहे. आणि हे जे आहे पॅन्डेमिक 100 वर्षानंतर आलं, तर पुढे आणि 50 वर्ष काय 100 वर्षानंतर परत जेव्हा हे पॅन्डेमिक येईल आणि त्यावेळेला लोकांना असं वाटेल की आम्ही त्यावेळेला काय केलं, आम्ही आम्ही त्यांचे एल्डर्स जे होते, तर त्याच्यामध्ये हे त्यांचे एक्सपिरियन्स आहेत. तर काही बघतील की काही लोकांनी किती छान समाजसेवा केली, काही लोकांनी कसं आपल्या सिक्युरिटी गार्डसाठी सकाळी उठून नाश्ता तयार केला आणि त्यांनी बघतील काही लोकांनी राशन किट्स दिले, काही लोकांनी औषधं दिले, मास्क दिले, काही लोकांनी आपले हॉबीज परस्यू केले. तर त्यांनी समाजासाठी काय काय कामं केले आणि कसे त्यांचे हे लॉकडाऊनचे 50 वर्ष, 50 दिवस आणि पुढचे दिवस, फर्स्ट लॉकडाऊन, मग सेकंड वेव्ह ऑफ पॅन्डेमिक, मग थर्ड वेव्ह ऑफ पॅन्डेमिक, एकदम फ्रस्ट्रेशनमध्ये जे लोक होते तरीसुद्धा त्यांनी पाठपूजा केले, काय केले, हे सगळं ह्याच्यामध्ये सगळ्यांनी आपले आपले एक्सपिरियन्स दिले आणि त्यांनी किती किती त्याच्यामध्ये श्रम घेतलेत की त्यांचे स्टाफ मेंबर्स वगैरे, जसं की आपली लोकसत्ता आहे, ते विजय दर्दाची इंटरव्ह्यू आहेत, तर त्यांचे किती हजारो स्टाफ आहेत. तर त्यांनी कसं जे सगळे आपले न्यूज घ्यायला जातात त्यांना काय प्रिकॉशन्स दिले, कसं काय ते सगळ्यांनी न्यूज कलेक्ट केलं, काही वाचले, काही थोडेफार जे आज नाही आपल्यामध्ये, असे भरपूर मीडियावाले आहेत. नागेश छाबरिया आहेत जे सुद्धा मेट्रोकास्ट मीडियाचे आहेत, जे आम्ही केबल वगैरे बघतो, तर त्यांचेसुद्धा भरपूर स्टाफ मेंबर्स आहेत. असे भरपूर फार्मॅटिक इन्स्टिट्यूट आहे, पोलीस ऑफिसर्स आहेत, BMC ऑफिसर्स आहेत, सगळ्यांना भरपूर ते पासेस घ्यावं लागलं आणि त्याच्यानंतरच त्यांना अलाव केले. असं बरंच काय काय, भाजीवाले आहेत, जे फ्रूटवाले आहेत, जे काय आमच्या घरी येऊन दूध देत होते, ब्रेड देत होते, असे भरपूर लोकांचे ऑफ ऑल द एज, काही सिनियर आहेत, काय मध्यस्थ आहेत, काही आपले स्टुडंट्स पण आहेत, सगळ्यांची इंटरव्ह्यू ह्याच्यामध्ये आहे आणि इंडियाचे सुद्धा आहेत आणि विदेशचे पण आहेत, ह्यांची सगळ्यांची इंटरव्ह्यूज घेतले. आणि मला असं वाटते की हे वाचल्यावर लोकांना खरंच वाटेल की आम्ही तरी फार व्यवस्थिशीर होतं, पण ज्या लोकांनी सॅक्रिफाईस केलेत खरंच आम्ही त्यांचं कौतुक केलं पाहिजेत आणि अजूनसुद्धा त्यांच्या फॅमिलीसाठी जे विडोज आहेत त्यांना मदत करावी पाहिजेत.
तुम्हाला हे नाव आहे इट हिट हार्ड, हे कसं सुचलं, काय त्याच्या मागचं काय?
ते ॲक्च्युली हे काय झालं की आता माझ्याकडे जे माझे निसीस वगैरे आहेत यंग, सगळ्यांना आम्ही सर्वे केलं की काय नाव घ्यायला पाहिजेत, काय फोटो व्हायला पाहिजेत. तर का म्हणजे मी एक पहिलासुद्धा पुस्तक लिहिलं, चॅलेंजेस इन द टाईम ऑफ लॉकडाऊन, आणि हे सेकंड वेव्ह आणि थर्ड वेव्हचे आहे. तर माझी एक नीस आहे रिद्धी छाबरिया, ती नाव दिली इट हिट हार्डर आणि अशी 5-6 नावं होती. तर आम्ही ते सर्वे केलं आणि आम्हाला वाटलं की हे जरुरी आहे का, म्हणजे ह्याच्यामध्ये खरंच इकॉनॉमिक डाऊन झाले, लोक बघा ना पडतात आणि किती महागाई झाली आहे आणि किती लोकांना त्रास झाला, जॉब्स गेले, म्हणून इट हिट हार्डर.
आता हे जे पुस्तक आहे हे इंग्रजीमध्ये, मराठीमध्ये किंवा इतर भाषांमध्ये किंवा
हो, आता ह्याच्या पुढे मला असं वाटते की हे पहिला तरी माझी मातृभाषा जी सिंधी आहे त्याच्यामध्ये पण करू, हिंदीमध्ये करू, मराठी आपल्या महाराष्ट्रामध्ये आहेत 2-3 भाषामध्ये, गुजराती वगैरे याचे ट्रान्सलेट आम्ही करणार आहेत की ह्याचं काय सगळं पूर्ण देश आणि जे लोकांना इंग्लिश येत नाही असले भरपूर आपल्याकडे लोक आहेत त्यांनीसुद्धा वाचावं मला असं वाटते.
धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद.
मैडम क्या बताएंगे कि इट हिट हार्ड जो अभी बुक लॉन्च होने वाली है, क्या है इसमें लिखा हुआ है, क्या लोगों ने कैसे क्यों पढ़ना चाहिए इसको और क्या इसमें विशेषता है ये?
हाँ, ये किताब जो इट हिट हार्डर है इसकी विशेषता यही है कि इसमें 22 लोगों के हमने अलग अलग उनके एक्सपीरियंसेस इसमें हमने कलेक्ट करके उनको इंटरव्यू करके इसमें हमने पेश किए हैं. सब लोग जो है मोस्ट ऑफ देम आर फ्रॉम फ्रंट लाइन वर्कर्स, जो लोगों ने बहुत तकलीफ सही है, बहुत सेक्रीफाइसेस किए हैं. तो ये जो मीडिया हेड्स है या फिर जो पुलिस डिप्यूटी कमिश्नर जो वैक्सीनेशन वगैरह जिनके इंचार्ज में थे और बहुत सारे जो साइकोलॉजिस्ट डॉक्टर्स उनको बेचारों को मास्क पहन के सारा दिन ऑपरेशन करना पड़ता था. तो ऐसे सब अलग अलग लोगों के जो कोई एनिमल्स लोगों को कोई हेल्प करते थे ड्यूरिंग दिस डेज, सो अलग अलग एक्सपीरियंसेस इसमें हमने अच्छे से लिखे हैं. और हम ये चाहते हैं कि जो समाज है हमारा, देश विदेश, ये सब लोग पढ़े और समझे कि ये कोई आसान काम नहीं था जो बाहर लोग काम कर रहे थे. हम घर में बैठ के ये सोचते थे कि कितनी तकलीफ़ है, लेकिन हम तो सुखी थे उनके लिए, लेकिन वो लोग दुखी थे. बहुत सारी उसने अपने जान की नहीं परवाह की और जाके सब जगह हम लोग के लिए बहुत सारा काम किया. और इसके लिए हम लोग उनको सैल्यूट भी करते हैं, जो पुलिस ऑफिसर्स है, जो बीएमसी वर्कर्स है, डॉक्टर्स है, नर्सेस है, ऐसे सब फ्रंट लाइन वर्कर्स को ये बुक मैं डेडिकेट करती हूँ. यही मेरी इच्छा है कि यंगस्टर्स पढ़े, सब लोग पढ़े, आगे भी जो हमारे बच्चे हैं बड़े होंगे वो भी पढ़े और समझे कि ये जो डिफ़िकल्ट टाइम था ये हमने कैसे इसको गुजारा. किसी ने अपना हॉबी परस्यू किया, जैसे मैंने किताब लिखा, किसी ने और कुछ अच्छा अच्छा समाज सेवा किया, इसमें सब कुछ लिखा है.
क्या ये अभी अंग्रेजी में है, आगे जाके कौन से लैंग्वेजेस में इसको लाने की आपकी मानसिकता है?
हाँ, आगे भी हम इसको ज़रूर अलग अलग भाषाओं में लाएंगे. जैसे कि हमारी सिंधी भाषा है मातृभाषा, हमारी नेशनल लैंग्वेज है हिंदी, और हम महाराष्ट्र में हैं तो हम मराठी, ऐसे हर एक लैंग्वेज में हम लाएंगे. ये मेरे साथ मेरी सिस्टर इन लॉ है निशा छाबरिया, इनके हस्बैंड ने भी नागेश छाबरिया ने इसके अंदर ये लोग का मेट्रो कास्ट जो है मीडिया है, बड़ी तकलीफ सही, लेकिन सब स्टाफ को इंश्योरेंस देके और कन्वेंस देके आते थे और हम लोग को टीवी दिखाते थे, वरना हम तो बोर हो जाते घर में. तो बड़ा ही अच्छा लेख है उसके अंदर.
थैंक यू.
थैंक यू. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र.
Firstly, thanks for coming. But before we start, let's all stand and start with the national anthem. जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता. पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उच्चल गंगा. विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलसित रंगा. तब शुभ नामे जागे, तब शुभ आशीष मांगे. गाए तब जय गाता, जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता. जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे. Hello again. So now we can start. I am Riddhi Chhabria Asrani, and out of all the ways I can introduce myself, I would introduce today as I was one of the participants in Gauri Didi's first book, Challenges of the Lockdown, and here we are launching her second book, It Hit Harder. Does anybody remember the lockdown or how it was? Just a show of hands. Yeah. It wasn't that far behind, no, just 2 years ago. But but seems like yesterday. Did anyone try cooking in the house? Like not someone who doesn't do it on a regular basis. or cleaning the house, or ironing clothes, or getting shouted at by the women in the house because there's no maid, so we kind of need extra help.
Skills developed.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to get started with staying at home without, or working from home, or not being able to go to the office. Yeah, but there were good times. Remember, we all stood outside and we hit the plates with spoons. See, it was good, right? Not all bad. I did it. Yeah, we all did it. When Gauri Didi asked, like when the book was ready, and she told us, ki, here's a list of names we have shortlisted for the second book. And one of it was Hit Me Harder, or It Hit Harder. And at that time, I was like, we should go with this, because though COVID 1 was bad, but it was mostly bad because we didn't know what it was. And the only source of knowledge we had for the first wave of COVID was WhatsApp. And let's get real, how reliable was it anyway? But during the second wave, we had a fair share of idea because the first wave was tough. But unfortunately, second wave was tougher. A lot of us lost friends, a lot of us lost family. COVID second wave did not discriminate. It did not discriminate with age or how many people a person is leaving behind. So it did hit harder, right? And hence she wrote the book. And to those who know her, she's actually a very active person. She's out and about every day. Even when she's unwell, whether it's raining, whether there's a storm outside, nothing will stop her from helping others. So during COVID, both first wave and second wave, how would she sit idle? You all tell me, if you all know her, do you all think she'll sit idle doing nothing? No, she did not. Second wave's production, the book, it's right there. I think we should clap for that. Come on. So now, before we start with the whole function, and trust me, a full agenda that I have been to cover here, I would like to first thank Gauri Didi, because of her and because of both of her books, at least some years from now, we'll actually remember what some people went through, because she has actually gotten a diverse set of people in this book and in the previous one also, but let's stick to this book for now. In this book, where she's covering a lot of people with different aspects of life and trying to cover different types of loss they've dealt with during the second wave. And let's not forget, among all of us, and mostly it is the frontline workers who suffered the most, because for them there was no holiday. There was no going back home for days, and they couldn't say, I think it's not safe, so I'll just stay home. We could do that. We could tell our work that, it's not safe, and I would stay home. They couldn't. But so we need to do something for the frontline workers first. I think we should all just have a round of applause for all the frontline workers who did their best so that we could have the best. And now, the most important time for today, our chief guests. So we'll have Sneha, who's looking lovely today, felicitate our chief guests. Starting with our chief guest, Honorary Suresh G. Shetty. He was the Health and Family Welfare Minister and Protocol Minister and Treasurer of Maharashtra Pradesh Congress Committee 2015 to 2021. Mr. Honorary Sanjay Churi. He has been the District Governor for the Lions Club International District, Mumbai.
Thank you, Naresh. You should be there.
Mr. Nagesh Chhabria, promoter Metrocast Network India Private Limited, and also a participant in the book. Also my dad, guys.
मॅडम सर क्लोज
Okay, so with a show of hands, how many of y'all have read Gauri Didi's first book? I have. Not bad, very good. With a show of hand, so maybe not all, but we will definitely ask at least. So maybe not all. We'll still select some of y'all who can come and talk about your experience with how y'all shared, made y'all share, and if there's anything y'all took away from the experience.
We start shivering, especially people who have gone through that phase where we have lost someone or we have faced some difficult situation in life. So when Gauri said that you have to give your interview or tell something about the process, what you went through, so I escaped from her during her first book because myself I had not faced that many situations during COVID-1, during the first phase of COVID. So the difficulties or the process, like I am into cable TV business, I have around 700 to 800 staff who give services to people, who go house to house, and since everything was under lockdown, giving services was more important for us. And the fear of the staff to go and give service was immense. Because people thought moment you are going to go out, you are going to die. So thinking was bad. People were sitting in their houses. But how to motivate our people? Because if someone is sitting in the house, he requires entertainment. And it is our business, we can't say no to it. So, but motivating our team, that Baba, you have to go and give service, it is our duty. We would give example of other frontline people like doctors, police, they are working. So, but all the staff who are hardly, like we have lower level staff who have salary of 20,000, 25,000. So they say, what about our family if something happens to us? How will we survive? Giving shield, giving mask, that's a secondary thing that we can do. We arranged everything for them. So we thought of giving them an insurance of 15 to 20 lakhs, motivating them that you have to give and this is what is backup for you. So first wave, around 2 months of lockdown, passed on, but we didn't face any difficult situation with our team. Hardly 1 or 2 people were positive. But second wave, the ground only went below our feet. Like one of our cities, like Sholapur, 42 people became positive in 1 day. What should we do? How should we operate? So it was a challenge. Similarly, in Belgaum, we had people there. We lost a very senior engineer into COVID called Mr. Joshi. So he was a teetotaler. He used to neither smoke, neither drink. And fitness-wise, he was okay. No overweight, no diabetes, no BP. So all these things were not there. So his full family was COVID positive. Myself and we also were just sitting by side of him. The day 1. 2 days, he was okay. There was no any signs. We thought he'll recover. Suddenly his oxygen level went down. When the oxygen level went down, he got panicked. We went to a family doctor or whoever doctor was there. He said, now you have to go to a hospital. And there when my role came into play. His father phoned me, Nagesh, we want a bed. And I am talking to each and every hospital, there is no single bed for him. And the owners of the hospitals were my close friends. So when I phone them, they say, Nagesh, already come to my hospital, 40, 50 people are standing outside. How can I remove and give? Anyway, after contacting from morning, by night 8 o'clock, I could arrange a bed for him. So they gave that remdesivir injection that time for first 2 days. He recovered little bit. Suddenly, second day, the doctor phoned me. Nagesh, there is no remdesivir injection in full of Karnataka. There is no injection only. We contacted the district collector that time. He said, Nagesh will get tomorrow evening. And this was in morning 12 o'clock or something, afternoon around 12 o'clock. So we don't have a single injection there. There is no ventilator for them. So this was the time when we felt that we are actually helpless. Our money, our contacts are of no use when the time comes. And it is like you don't know when the time comes. So 2:45 I phoned the doctor there. Doctor, should we take him to Bombay or Pune from Belgaum? Doctor said, Nagesh, I don't think that's the position. And we also consulted those reports with our Hinduja hospital in Bombay. Local doctors of Bombay said, Nagesh, there is aisa to koi condition hai nahi ki we find it is that bad. 2:45 I speak, 3 o'clock the person is not there. He has 2 sons, 21, 20, 18 years old. He was getting a salary of 1 lakh odd. But suddenly when we go through that full cycle, then only we understand what COVID has done to many people. Till we are safe, the impact is not seen by us. When we are facing that, when we understand it, then we come to know. Being in media, putting all influences, this was our position that time. For a general person, for the general public, we don't know what they might have gone through. Hands off to Gauri. She was distributing around, I thought she had distributed 4,000 to 5,000 food packets to everyone in Bombay. So we used to tell her, why you are taking risk? Going and distributing on the roads, because you are in touch with so many people when you are doing it. But she has a passion. If I don't help, someone has to come ahead with it. So when she interviewed me, so this was our experiences, like how to motivate people, how to get work done from them. We didn't have an option for work from home, because our work only is going out, giving service, managing the cable, whoever any connection is there, give new connections. We are also into broadband and internet connection. That time every school, they wanted internet connection. So the workload also increased. Touch wood, we didn't have problem of, like other businesses, shops got closed. There was no revenue. We had no problem. We had excess work. But excess work with less of people. How to get that done? Because moment we tell someone, Baba, your connection is not there, we used to get 20, 30 phones in 5 minutes. Because that time, in lockdown, DTS, Tata Sky, always shops were closed, so they would not get a new connection. The local person only was there who could help them. But after whatever experience, we feel it was only precaution. Like we used to laugh at each other. Baba, why you are going out? Are you afraid? But precaution was the only way we could prevent COVID. And I think this government has actually done a very good job that India is better than other countries today. We are in a much better spectrum of life that people, whatever with 1 dose, 2nd dose, with booster, we are in much better position. We can talk, we can see everyone alive. Like Jack Ma, China's #1 richest person, what he said? When everyone was saying there is no business, there is no money, being alive in COVID only is your profits. Yes. If we are alive, we can see tomorrow. If we are not alive, what we can see? But who was hit, who was not hit, that was again God grace. Someone has come out after 40 days also being in hospital. And someone could not survive for 2 days. So we can only hope, and we are thankful to God that bad days are over and we won't see such situation again. Thank you to Gauri, she gave me this opportunity to come here to put some words into the book. But putting bad things in book is also very difficult. Thank you everyone. Thank you.
That was heart touching and sadly the reality of the last 2 years we've dealt with. Moving on, I would like to call the principal of Manikben Nanavati College of Girls, Dr. Rajshri Trivedi, to come and tell us her experience while being interviewed for the book. Ma'am, please share some words.
Hello. Good evening to the distinguished dignitaries on the dais, the very learned audience. I have always liked one thing about Gauri ma'am. The woman who challenged the very well-known couplet, Sare Deen Bhagwan ke kya mangal kya peer, jis din soya der tak bhukha raha fakir. Ma'am has always done something which has challenged the fundamentals of human nature, which is inactivity, procrastination. A woman who is a scholar, lawyer, woman activist, social philanthropist, a politician, a benevolent, benign politician, I would say, an educator, and an amazing person who just comes to help you, doesn't speak much about anything. You call her on phone, ma'am, we need this, and she's there. So she's the there kind of a personality. She's always there kind of a personality. Being associated with a women's organization, I, on a personal front, faced quite a lot of challenges as an academician, as an educator. Arranging for around 2,700 women in my institution. We are Maniben Nanavati Women's College affiliated to SNDT Women's University, sir. And we are touching our 50th golden year. We are based in Villeparle West. And we have courses ranging from undergraduate level to postgraduate level and so on and so forth, vocational training. When it comes to 2,700 women, especially women coming from economically disadvantaged sections, the challenges are of different kind. There is a financial crisis, there is a digital divide. I mean, all of us are quite aware of the term, digital divide, where there is a male child and a female child in the house, and the male child who is a school attender or a college-going boy gets the first chance of using the smartphone for his academic pursuits, his classes, and the parents telling us, आपने तो रख दिया है online classes, पर सुबह तो मेरा बेटा पढ़ता है. Okay, is that the problem? We are shifting our classes to the evening part. So the digital divide which we worked upon, the kind of financial crisis, I mean, forget payment of fees for the coming year. There was a question of survival. There was a question of challenging the onslaught of starvation. Amidst that, keeping yourself ticking alive. Amidst that, keeping yourself with the pace of educational institutions who are high-ended and giving the best to the students. Let me tell you, and let me admit this in front of everyone. It is only because of people like Gauri ma'am that we were able to pull through. A big salute to you, ma'am. Regarding the book, I have traversed both the books of ma'am. I was a part of that book, although I did not contribute anything directly, ma'am. You will agree to me. I've always supported her and actually encouraged her to go for a second book, if ma'am will recall our conversation. She asked me for an interview. And I said, ma'am, I can't speak anything except the academic pursuits that I follow. And she said, yes, Rajeshri, go ahead. please write about something where women's education, financial divide, digital divide, and the challenges that are associated with the progression of students where these things are concerned. Please come forward. Please share with the society that what happens when there's a girl child in the house and there is an education institution who wants to give the best to that student. And what were the challenges? How did you overcome them? We could sail through those troubled times, let me tell you. But it is easy to, crib, and it is easy to say that these are my problems. But when you overcome them, when you sail through them, and when you come out with flying colors, it's at that point of time that books like It Hit Harder comes across to you. Congratulations, ma'am, and wish you a third book also in future. Jai Hind.
Thank you. And now lastly, we would like Mrs. Nirmal Sawant, ex-Mayor Mumbai, to come and just grace us with 2 minutes of her kind words.
Honorable ex-Cabinet Minister, Sri Suresh Shetty ji, he is also a colleague of mine for many years. Mr. Churi, who is going to be a governor very soon, so advance congratulations. Nagesh ji, Gauri ma'am's brother, who spoke so well, and it really touched me a lot, and the whole scenario that rewinding was done. Gauri, who is the chief organizer of this function, and I really sincerely thank her for giving me an opportunity to speak for 2 minutes on the launch of the book, It Hit Harder. And of course, none other than the very good audience, Trivedi ma'am, from Manipen Nanavati, who spoke here. I didn't know that you also face a different kind of a challenge, definitely, and good participants and audience and media. I won't take much of your time because the COVID situation has taught us so much. First of all, it taught us that what is humanity and how people, who are your real relatives, and who are your not good friends, who are your good friends. And it really brought within us that what is the importance of humanity. I never expected the people who were eminent social workers to come ahead, but I expected a smallest of a ordinary man who became a COVID Vyodha. Means I never thought that an ordinary auto rickshaw driver, ordinary sailor and all that, उन्होंने अपनी जान को ये करके एम्बुलेंस से लेके डेड बॉडीज को लाके एम्बुलेंस से लेके दे डिड देयर लास्ट राइट्स बट द रिलेटिव्स डिड नॉट कम, नॉट एवरी टाइम, बट ये जो हार्ड सिचुएशन एंड द बैड फेस ऑफ सो कॉल्ड ह्यूमैनिटी, वो फर्स्ट टाइम सामने आ गई कि रिलेटिव्स ऑल्सो डिड नॉट टच द बॉडी ऑफ देयर ओन दिस वन द पेशेंट, बट जो पेशेंट के रिलेटिव्स नहीं थे उन्होंने अपनी जान खतरे में डाल के उनका क्रीमेटोरियम गए, बेरियल के. दिस इज़ व्हाट ह्यूमैनिटी. यू नीड नॉट नो एनीबॉडी बट दैट ह्यूमन टच हैज़ टू बी इन विद इन. सो मुझे कोविड ने ह्यूमैनिटी को कितना इम्पोर्टेंस है वो सिखा दिया. सेकेंडली, आपने जो भी बताया, मतलब इररिस्पेक्ट योर कास्ट, क्रीड, रेस, वेदर यू आर रिच और पुअर, कोविड ने किसी को नहीं छोड़ा. सो कोविड वॉज जेंडर न्यूट्रल. COVID was not having any gender biases or anything. But I salute to those COVID योद्धास who came out. COVID योद्धास where rich भी थे, poor भी थे. Many donors. I am so happy that many rich people, they were donors. उन्होंने भी काफ़ी अच्छा donation दिया. Many industrialists, they donated. Many corporate sectors, Tatas and so many good businessmen and all that. उन्होंने अपनी बहुत सारी जो संपत्ति थी वो कोविड के लिए डोनेट की है. सो सोसाइटी का जो रियल चेहरा था डोनेशन का एंड स्पॉन्सरशिप का, वो आगे आया. और आई थिंक ह्यूमन बीइंग helped another human being to survive, and that was a real thing. I appreciate Gauri, who did not waste her time just sitting at home, and she utilized her time to write a book. And sometimes wonder, so many qualities, Gauri, you have, that lawyer, then writer, academician. She speaks so many languages. She speaks better Marathi than myself being Maharashtrian. I said, "Tula evda Marathi चांगलं कसं येतं?" So she said, "My father was on some job and he used to get transfer. आणि आम्हाला मग ज्याच्याकडून राहायचं त्याच्याकडून शिकायला लागायचं." So it was so nice. And whatever she speaks, she's so fluent. She speaks English fluent, Hindi fluent, and so nicely she manages everything. So I think that such women should be encouraged in politics. Such women should be encouraged in community. Such women should be encouraged in academics also. Whatever help and association or anything you require from me, I'm always there. I always used to think Suresh Shetty, had there been a Congress government, we would have seen him giving continuous news, because he was the health minister. And then when COVID came, he was there. He could have also equally handled the situation quite well, I'm sure. But it doesn't matter that now he is there with us. I don't want to say much more because everybody is a sufferer here. Everybody has gone through good times, bad times. Everybody must have chance to show humanity. आपने आपके सर्वेंट्स का सैलरी नहीं काटा होगा, आई एम श्योर. आपने आपका ड्राइवर का सैलरी नहीं काटा हुआ. आपने आपके सर्वेंट्स को सर्वाइव होने के लिए दिया था. इवन सिटिंग एट होम, एवरीबडी मस्ट हैव डन अ गुड ह्यूमैनिटी. तो वी मस्ट बी थैंकफुल to COVID for showing us the best part of it, and very bad, and we are equally concerned that we lost our dear ones also. Lekin as a humanity, we must remember those who suffered, and our feelings are always with them. I always pray कि please, oh God, don't bring such kind of a situation again. ये once in 100 years है तो उसको once in 100 years भी रहने दो, उसके बाद भी नहीं होना चाहिए. And then we must take lesson from that. Always human gets transmitted from the animals or from the birds. So we have gone. COVID has not come to us, but we have done something which is against the nature, as a result of which COVID has come to us. So हमको nature, environment, climate, we have to be really save this planet by not disturbing the nature. Human being is not a supernatural person. Human being is a part of our nature, and we have to salute that almighty nature. Then only second pandemic will not come. Thank you.
Okay, so let's move on with the launching of the book. So far, discussing COVID has taken the mood a little sadder. Let's try getting happier, because Gauri Didi has worked really hard. I would request our chief guest, Honorary Suresh Ji Shetty, to launch the book and show us how it looks and how it feels. We can still clap, even if we are seated. Come on. Here's a subtle hint. All of us have to pick one copy soon. So you know what happens after the launch is done? We have to say some nice words about the author. So what we are going to do is, I'm going to divide it. Tough. We are going to divide it into two halves. The first half will be everything Gauri Didi does, and the second half will be everything she's achieved. Now when the second half starts, If you know about her achievement, you will clap 6 times. And if you are hearing about it for the first time, you'll only clap 3 times, okay? Because she said to make it brief. Otherwise, you could have clapped as many times as you wanted. But it has to be brief, okay? So this is everything she's doing right now. Advocate Gauri Chhabria has been practicing in the Bombay High Court since 1989. She has been appointed as the Maharashtra State Commission for Women as member of the Mahila Ayog for next 3 years. She has been elected as the President of Women Graduate from 2021 to 2023. She is also the International President of Vishwa Sindhi Seva Sangam Women's Wing since 2022. She is the Honorary General Secretary of Bar Association of NCLT Mumbai, appointed as the Secretary of Maharashtra Pradesh Congress Committee in the year of 2021. She has also worked for Priya Dutt's team in the parliamentary election. She was a professor for 11 years in Government Law College. Now the clapping part starts. I hope you guys are ready. Gauri Didi was honored with Kamala Power Women Award on 8th March 2022. Remember, 3 times if you heard for the first time, 6 if you knew about it. By the Governor of Maharashtra. She was also the Ambassador of Goodwill Award by Vishwa Sindhi Seva Sangam. I can't hear claps. She was also the recipient of Super Women Award from Indian Women Awards last year, Indian Glory Awards in the category of social activist. She also was honored for the Janaseva Sadbhavna Puruskar for an inquisitive interaction in the religion and social life from His Excellency Honorary Shri Bhagat Singh Koshyari, Governor of Maharashtra. Women in Leadership Award from Global Triumph Foundation, again felicitated by the Governor of Maharashtra at the Raj Bhavan for her promotion of Sindhi language in the year 2021. In 2018, she won the Bharat Ratna Dr. Ambedkar Award in Delhi. In 2019, she received the Shiv Mudra Chhatrapati Shivaji Award. In 2020, received World Excellence Icon Award for the Best Loyal at Delhi. Sindhi Icon Award by Bharat Sindhi Seva. Appreciation Award by Vishwa Sindhi Seva Sangam. An International Leadership Award from Lions Club International. Now let's just clap loudly whether you've heard anything or not. Come on. Do you all think we should call her now and hear what she has to say about her experience? Yes. Yeah? Can't hear you all guys. Come on, loudly.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm sure you all are enjoying with wonderful anchoring by Riddhi. Riddhi, that is wonderful. We have been really enjoying. Well, friends, being a writer doesn't just mean writing. It means finishing. And that was really difficult this time because already we started working little by little. So it took more time for me. Our Honorable Suresh Ji Shetty is Chief Guest and Cabinet Minister. Honorable Sanjay Churi, elected District Governor 3231. My wonderful family all present here. Nagesh Chhabria on the stage, my elder sister Vandana, my brother-in-law Deepak Ji, my brother Bharat, my all niece, nephews, my sister-in-laws, Sunita and Nisha, all of you all, the entire family, my son-in-law, my niece, nephews, and all my dear friends, brothers and sisters, my friends from NGOs, from my advocate friends, Salim, Keku. Of course, how can I forget my mentor, Dilip Ji, and Aruna, Srikant, all of them working with me. So many years we have been working in the legal section. We have a lot of our participants who have come here from far away also. We had wonderful talks now from our principal, Trivedi ma'am, from Nirmala ma'am, We have our seniors from WGU, our past trustees, Sudha ma'am, how are we? Also a trustee from Women Graduate. Then we are having Kashmira, and nice of all of you all, so many of you all who have, we have young solicitors here, all of them who have contributed. Deepak ji. So, all of you all are very close and dear to me. That is why today you all are here. So, thank you so much, and also a very warm welcome to all of you all. It gives me immense pleasure and delight to see all of you all here and the wonderful launch we had. Thank you so much, the Honorable our Chief Guest, Sureshji Shetty, for doing the worthy job today of launching my book along with Sanjay. Thank you so much. Sanjay is a very dear friend of mine from many years, though he's now, of course, for waiting for so many years, and now he's the district governor. Congratulations to him also. And of course, our honorary chief guest, heartiest congratulations to him, because I have been seeing him the entire period of pandemic. He has been really doing great work. Every corner of Andheri, right from the beginning of the lockdown, he used to see that the poor people are fed with food, lunch, and some very good packets, as well as lunch. This all his other volunteers, the youths who helped him, and together he has been doing. It is really, really appreciable. A big hand to our guest, please. So, of course, coming to my book, It Hit Harder, already has been spoken by some of the participants. 22 participants are there. They are from all over India, and 1 or 2 are also from abroad, from US, from Dubai and all. They are from different sectors. They are doctors. They are people who have really, there are doctors who are working in the hospital. There are doctors who have, administrators who have set up the, like the Seven Hill Hospital, the Sapna, who set up, for COVID you require special setup. So great job she has done. And they were the family members who were objecting them. Are, if you go, then what about we? We are in-laws, we are old, we are children. So if you will go and do that, then what will happen to us if we get COVID? But then the Dr. Sapna said, but somebody has to do it. If everybody will say our safety is there, then who is going to work for it? So then her entire family, of course, got COVID. By God's grace, they got all right. But people have taken this brave step to go out and to do something for the society. Because unless and until you don't take a brave step and go, like there are so many of our Congress volunteers who went to distribute Anaj Daan, as well as lunch, masks, medicines, and so many things. Just as Nagesh said, hospitals were not available. Our honorable chief guest has also taken care to see that people have got beds at so many times. Because he, being the health minister earlier, he has lovely contacts, and he has really helped everybody. So a big hand to him again, please. As well as our Lions also, they have been doing great work, and I've been seeing. So, of course, congratulations to all our Lions also, and all our NGOs who have been doing great work. We have from Ulhasnagar, Lucky sir, who has been also taking care of animals. They cannot talk, they cannot come to you, but every day he used to feed them. So, congratulations to you also. So, there are people from different sectors who have really contributed. I'll just read their names. Most of them, some of them were expected. I don't know why they are not come, maybe because of rains and all, or that section 145. So we have, first of all, Shri Honorable Vijay Dardaji, who is the chairman of the Lokmat Media and former MP. So he has given about all his newspapers, about his workers who had to really take a brave step and take courage, go out and get the news. Otherwise, how did we get those digital newses, which we really wanted to see, ki how much today is the figure and tomorrow what is the figure, aaj bad gaya, aaj ghat gaya, and we really used to feel really a big sigh on that. So he has given wonderful interview in detail, must to read. We have Advocate Nirmala Samanji, as she spoke. We have Mrs. Chanda Jadhav, Deputy Commissioner, BMC. Mumbai, India. I happened to meet her because we gave our center, Women Graduate Union, vaccination center from the beginning. And she has been taking care of the vaccination center. So really, hats off to all these BMC workers. They have been really doing good job. First of all, earlier they had to see that these all BMC centers where the hospitals were there, then the vaccination centers where they could be, everybody wanted कि हमारे society में आके सबको पहले vaccination दो, हमारे उधर वो आके दो, यहाँ रखो center, वहाँ रखो center. So they tried their best to make maximum centers all over. And they were really having political pressure, they had bureaucrat pressures, but it was like when they used to get the stock and accordingly they had to divide it. And everybody wanted to soon get vaccinated. So it was a really challenging experience. Then we have Mr. Nagesh Chhabria. So congratulations to him because he has taken very good work of his workers and done a lot of distribution of ration kits and insurance what he gave and conveyance what he gave to his workers. I really appreciate that, Nagesh. Congratulations. So I must say that I also saw that in our Women Graduate Union, we had insurance for our staff and it's still continuing. Then we have Dr. Jawahar Panjwani, who is a surgeon, and really they had to wear those kits for so many hours. It was not an easy job. Then we have Dr. Sapna, who I said, who set up the Seven Hill Hospital. We have Dr. Akhil Ahmed Sheikh, who also spoke about how in Delhi they had to buy and keep oxygen kits. Then we have some celebrities, Simran Ahuja, who used to do yoga daily. We have Aisha Khan, who is here, and a psychologist. We really required her help because we, of course, went in depression and frustration. Thank you, Aisha, for giving your inputs. We have very senior barrister Kamal Nichani. Then we have Sunita Bhuyan, who used to really give therapies for music. We have a young Sanjukta Chaudhary, a solicitors. How the lawyers really face challenges, especially our juniors. They were without works and the challenges they faced, and our government did not give us anything much like. Some of the bar association in Delhi did help, but I don't think we got much except some ration kits and this and that. That also, the lawyers, I don't think they took that because it is, I mean, poor people do take, but people, if they are juniors, even if they don't have money, but to take all such donations of ration and all is difficult. But if some good compensation was giving, I'm sure they should have taken it. Then we have from Calcutta, Dr. Ranjana Banerjee. She writes also, was attached to IFUA and UA. Then we have Dr. Sudha Padre. She's a scientist and working computer, also done lot of being in the house because otherwise she's so active and being in the house was not so easy, but with her family, I'm sure how it went on. She has written her experiences. We have Dr. Sunita Mahajan, who is a computer engineer. She has given her inputs. We have a chartered accountant, Renu Kapoor. We have Lion Radhakrishnan, who spoke about all the blood plasma, what he collected bottles. He is also a governor there in Delhi, so he has done great work. We have from America, Yogesh Armani, who is also a computer engineer. It's very important in his interview. He has written the relation between a parent and a child. The wife used to go for work and he used to do from the house. And while he used to work from the house, it was how his questions came from the child who usually used to go to play and who used to go to school. And he used to ask questions, why I can't go, why can't I do this, why can't I do that? And I mean, it's really, really very good what answers he has given. And how now they are coping up with having some private holidays here and there in America. Then we saw Dr. Rajeshri Trivedi, who gave really good inputs to us. We have Meena Padwal. Is she come? She is a headmistress of the school, and it is something similar experience like Dr. Rajeshri Trivedi. Then we have from Dubai also, who is into the travels, Ms. Rani Mirchandani. We have Lakhi Chandwani, whom I spoke. So these are a few of them who gave their inputs. I will just read one page. I know we are getting late also for our guest, but as it is a practice, I will read one question and answer page. Before the second phase hit, my wife took up a job as a teacher, and we were ready to send kid to school in August 2021, but the number of classes skyrocketed, and I had to then become a stay-at-home dad, working from home, plus taking care of the kid too, while he continued to attend kindergarten online. Trip to India in 2020 was almost certain for us, as we had to last gone in 2017. But it had to be cancelled because of the pandemic. We couldn't plan in 2021 also, as even though we got vaccinated in early 2021, our kid wasn't. And then the peaks of ebbs and been a little different in US and India so, and have been almost opposite like the time difference. I have not set foot in my office since March 2020, and that has been a big change in lifestyle. Not being able to eat outside also was a big change. We haven't started yet also. Since the pandemic started, we have just recently been restaurants outside, and we always take to go. It has been tough and a complete 180-degree for my lifestyle compared to my wife, who was a homemaker earlier. So that's it. Sometimes even men will have to do the job of the wife while this was the situation. Well, I will just like to say that it was a wonderful experience writing, and I think even if somebody is interested, should definitely take it up and do it. And the main intention was that in future also, God hope there is no pandemic, but if our young children, when they grow up and they want to know how did we do, and what did we do, and how did we face the challenges. So there are these experiences which they can read, and I'm sure they will understand that it was not so easy for our people that time at home, as well as the frontline workers to whom I have dedicated the book, who were working outside bravely, and that is why we were enjoying inside. We don't need to be wise to begin writing. We simply need to be willing to start. Friends, thank you very much once again for being here, and thank you to our dignitaries for really coming all the way here and gracing the occasion. Riddhi, thank you for doing really wonderful anchoring also, and I would like to give Riddhi a bouquet. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Jhulelal.
Thank you for the bouquet. Gauri Didi is very humble about herself. She read out every single person she's written about and why they deserve to be in the book, but nothing about what she's done. Since I was a child, I have seen her go out of her way for everyone. Everyone at home, everyone in her family, everyone among her friends, but it doesn't stop there. If anybody in the house is unwell, us, any of the other kids, any of the parents or uncles or aunties, no, stay there. Anybody from the help staff, drivers, watchmen, anybody, minor, major, anything, she'll leave everything aside, take them to the doctor, pay for their doctor's services. And it doesn't stop there. During COVID, she made sure that everyone is vaccinated. Everyone, all our staff went to WGU where she had her vaccination drive set up. There was a phase last year where people weren't getting vaccines. I know because I had to wait for like 2 months for my second dose. But Gauri Didi, if you went to her, nobody had to wait. I call her, I know someone who needs to get vaccinated, a friend's mom needs vaccination, my office's peon's dad needs vaccination. You know what she would say? आज आ जाओ, कल आ जाओ, मुझे बता दो, मैं करवा दूंगी. Not once she said no. She didn't ask me ki, is the person well off, is the person poor. She never asked me is it a boy or a girl. She didn't ask me which religion or caste they belong to. Her response was, आज आ जाओ. And I think you need a big heart to do that, to go out of your way to help people. And I feel that we should applaud for that. Okay, so I have been already given ice to do this a little more briefly. So let's start with asking our guests to come and say some words. Starting with Honorary Mr. Sanjay Juri. He is the District Governor of Lions Club International, Mumbai. He's also the secretary, he was the secretary of Mumbai University Student Council and a Senate member in 1978. And by profession, he's an interior designer. So please take the dais.
Author of this book, my sister, Gauri, my very dear friend and chief guest, Suresh Shetty, and distinguished guest. When Gauri asked me that, Sanjay, whether you are free Saturday morning, I said, for you, I'm always there. And I'm here. And it is not just I'm a district governor. Basically, we consider her not a friend. She mentioned Sanjay is my friend, but we consider her as a family. And we have seen, we have worked together in Lionism, and we have grown together. And the way that real lion-hearted person we have seen in Gauri always. Always she is ready to extend her helping hand. Whenever any kind of situation arises, Gauri is the first person, whether that is accident court or many other situations, where she was the first person to respond to that call. And Gauri keep this kind of work together. Gauri never told me that you will be on dais or some part you will be having here. I reminded that in my school or college days, whenever I avoid to do my homework, my teacher always used to ask, Sanjay, whether you have done this homework. I always used to wonder how teacher know that I haven't done. And today she caught me unaware. And she is testing me that if you are becoming district governor, so in this situation, come on dais and communicate with the audience. And this is an opportunity, one more opportunity, luckily she has given. Just mention that in 78, I was a student council secretary. And luckily, Sureshji, he was chairperson. Both of us, we got elected together. And because of Gauri, I got this opportunity to share a dais after so many years with Sureshji. So thank you for this opportunity. Talking about this pandemic and mentioned there that hit harder. I feel that it hit hard. More than physical, everybody was mentally in that trauma. So that was physical is separate part, but we have seen that fear of death on each and every person's face. But it is rightly said that every challenge, it gives some opportunity. Even for us Lions, we got that opportunity of serving our humanity, that all those police stations and hospitals, we give those PP kit or sanitizer or mask distribution. That opportunity in many fold, we increase that our service. And this was one of the opportunity to serve our society. Gauri, I'm really happy that courage you have shown in working in this pandemic. And this inspires to all of us. And keep doing this good work. And thanks a lot once again giving this support. Thank you. One more thing I would like to mention here, that next year my theme as a district governor, it will be empower her. I see so many women, girls here, and empowering women. And this theme, I got it from Gauri. And I request each and every person, the way you can contribute or share in this moment, I'll be very happy to get your support. Thank you. Thank you. God bless.
Just some more minutes and then we'll be done. And last but not least, I would like to invite our chief guest to come on the podium and say some best wishes for the author. But before that, here's a little, I don't know, a description about him. Sir have served the great state of Maharashtra as the Health and Family Welfare Minister and Protocol Minister in 2010. In 2009, Health, Environment, Sports and Youth Welfare and Protocol Minister. In 2004, Medical Education and Tourism Minister. In 2002, Medical Education, Tourism, Mines, Sports and Youth Affairs Minister. He was elected as the to the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly in 1999 from Andheri East Constitution, 2004 from Andheri East Constitution, 2009 from Andheri East Constitution. Treasurer of Maharashtra Pradesh Congress Committee from 2015 to 2021. I'd request him to come on the podium. I'm so sorry.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, sir. At the outset, let me congratulate Advocate Gauri on releasing a second book. It hit harder. I think what I loved was the title. I got the book yesterday. I couldn't go or read the whole book, but I was really impressed with the title. It hit harder. This pandemic hit everybody. All the powerful nations in the globe was affected. Nobody knew the solutions in the initial stages. Everybody was surprised. And the health professionals didn't know how to cope up with it. It's not only in India, but I think all over the globe it happened. When the virus started initially, I was in Tanzania. And the first day, on the last day of my trip, I was sitting in the coffee shop having breakfast, and suddenly a Chinese lady approached us, and she started conversing with us. And she said, there is a virus called corona in our country which has started spreading. And she had two elderly Chinese ladies with her in the coffee shop. And for the first time I heard the name corona. So by the time we came back to the airport, on our way back, everybody was talking of corona and COVID. And when I came to India, was back, after some time there was a lockdown. And before the lockdown, as Riddhi just said, everybody was banging the utensils and whatnot. And there was a lockdown. And I, as a former minister, had to take a decision whether to lock myself inside or be out amongst the people doing some work. As Rajan said, Nagesh said, there was a lot of pressure from the family. Okay, why you want to go out? Kya hoga? Sit at home. But some people took the decision to go out and fight it out. We had our office open for 24 hours. We not only were supplying food, cooked food, but ration. Gauri was also very helpful. She used to send ration through Ashish every week. But the most important thing I found was, while interacting with the officers, my former colleagues in the health department in the government of Maharashtra, and the officers of the Mumbai Municipal Corporation, was at the initial stages, everybody was in a kind of shock. They didn't know what to do, how to go about, because the cases were going up so fast. And every day we used to hear some new names coming out, this drug, this drug, this drug. And people initially I was getting calls from all over the country, mostly from Delhi, because everybody has some relation or the other in Mumbai. And everybody wanted a bed. And those days, even if you knew Ashok Hinduja, you couldn't get a bed in Hindujas. And that was the case everywhere. Let me be frank, every hospital, Lilavati or Ranavati or everywhere. So luckily the Mahanagar Palika took the decision of starting the Seven Hills Hospital, which was in my constituency. We got the best of staff from Reliance, the paramedics from Reliance, and started off with 200 beds, 300 beds, went up to 1,000 beds. And then we could accommodate everybody because of the jumbo centers which came up in Mumbai, where hundreds and hundreds of patients were admitted. But I have to tell you, Seven Hills Hospital did one of the best jobs during the first and second COVID. Everything was free of cost. While some hospitals, private hospitals, tried to make money even in this pandemic, charging lakhs of rupees. I lost my brother-in-law in a private hospital. And when I saw the bill, every day they used to charge for 10 PP kits, 20 PP kits. So this pandemic, all over the globe, I think every family has a story to tell. Every family was hit. And every family, if they have not lost a person, people have lost jobs. I know of hundreds of them who didn't have money to buy ration. A simple example, when I saw the photographers, I remember a delegation of photographers from the film industry came to me, from the Hindi film industry. They said, sir, we are about 300 to 350 people in our association. Last 1.5 years, 2 years, there's no shooting going on of any films, not TV serials, so we have no work. And we used to earn on daily basis. We used to go for shooting, shoot, take our money in the evening, come home. Today we don't have money. And today we are in such a position that we cannot go and ask somebody for money also. We can't ask a loan. Young couples, husband and wife, working in good institutions, suddenly lost their jobs. So many people were just thrown out. People who had bought their flats in Mumbai, vehicles, by taking loans from companies. I don't know how many lakhs of motorcycles, two-wheelers have landed up in the streets because they could not pay the loan back. Or how many vehicles are lying on the roads because they could not pay the loans. And this was unimaginable. School children, the trauma which they went through, all this struggle, the biggest problem we are facing today is the mental health trauma, which has affected every child, every woman, and every man. COVID is still not over. As long as that mask is there, you have to remember COVID is still existing within our society, within the city. We have to be careful. And even today, scientists all over the world are trying to understand what exactly COVID is. I'll give you a small 1 or 2 examples and end my speech because I know it has been a very long program. A friend of mine had COVID in Nagpur. He was admitted to hospital. He was in the ICU for 35 days. he recovered. After 1 month, he went back to the hospital again, and the doctor said, your liver is totally damaged. You have to go for a liver transplant. And he said, how did this happen? When they went through his history, he had some liver problem at the time of birth. And that aggravated due to COVID. And he had to undergo a liver transplant within 10 days. He was transported by air ambulance to Delhi. Luckily, he got a donor within the family. And the surgery was done in Delhi, and he's safe now. There's so many people like that. Unknown symptoms have developed, and people don't know how this happened. And ultimately, you come to know it's because of COVID. Anyway, this pandemic has, I think, affected everybody. And as Nagesh ji said, we have to be happy only about that we are alive. And we can face the difficulties in the days to come. But we have to remember that this type of things, viruses keep on appearing in this globe. And that you cannot stop a virus from being transmitted from an animal to a human being. And there comes the role of the government, where the government has to spend more money on research. You have to encourage people to go in for research. You can't say कि budget नहीं है हमारे पास. Health department in this country, I'm telling you, gets the lowest budget. There is no priority for the health department. You see the state of the government hospitals. You have to literally fight for budget, because then they say, "Arey, wo department mein bhi dena hai, idhar bhi dena hai." I was in this government for almost 12 years as a minister, and 5 years as a health minister. We managed to get good amount of money that time from the government of India. We tried to do a lot of good works, but looking at the population of our country, the government and in Delhi and in the state, whichever political party it is, I'm not talking of that, they have to give at least 15% of the total budget to the health department. Every citizen of this country should walk into a government facility and get free treatment, like they did in Seven Hills Hospital during the COVID. Even if a millionaire got admitted there, he was not charged. He was given the best of drugs, blood, plasma, chahiye, whatever you want was given to that patient. Free of cost. Should be the motto of every government that comes here. Thank you very much. And once again, let me congratulate Advocate Gauri for the excellent job she's done. And I hope she keeps up with all our activities in the days to come. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Thank you, sir. There were some really kind words, and it was so nice to hear you speak. Okay, so the last part, the question answer round.
Very brief, 3 questions or 2 questions.
We'll have only 3 questions. Who would like to ask the first question or say the first thing? Come on. Sure.
सबको मेरा नमस्कार, वीएस नेशन से देवेंद्र खन्ना। सबसे पहले आपको कब लगा कि ये इतना बड़ा कोरोना आ गया है और उस पर लोगों ने बहुत काम किया, और पहला आइडिया कब आया कि आप बुक लिखें?
हाँ, मैं मेरे एल्डर सिस्टर के घर रह रही थी, वंदना जी, राधा हम बोलते हैं। तो उस वक्त क्या है कि सिक्योरिटी कार्ड्स जो थे उधर उनको बेचारों को नाश्ता वगैरह मिलता ही नहीं था सुबह को। तो शी यूज्ड टू गेट अप इन द मॉर्निंग एंड शी सेज कि आई विल सर्व। तो At this age, she used to get up, make breakfast for them, and serve. So, such people who are doing very good work, we also have to do something for the society. So, everybody was giving their bit. We were seeing in the social media daily, कोई मास्क बांट रहा है, कोई दवाई बांट रहा है, कोई राशन किट दे रहा है, कोई बेड्स अरेंज कर रहा है, कोई ऑक्सीजन के वो अरेंज कर रहे हैं, कोई प्लाज्मा अरेंज कर रहे हैं, रोज कोई कुछ ना कुछ कर ही रहा है. तो घर में तो बैठे ही थे डर डर के सब लोग, लेकिन बाहर भी करेज लेके और बहुत ही हिम्मत लेके लोगों ने बाहर भी बहुत कोशिश किया. लास्ट बुक में मैंने लिखा था कि दवाइयों के बारे में मतलब जब मैंने पहला बुक शुरू किया था कि सबको चाहिए कि हम अभी दवाइयाँ लेके रख दें या हम अनाज भी एक साथ ही 2-4 महीने का रख दें. तो ये जो सप्लाई वगैरह और डिमांड था उसको कैसे हम एडजस्ट करें. तो फार्मेटिकल लोगों के लिए बड़ा प्रॉब्लम था, उनको समझाना पड़ता था भाई आप लोगों को दवाइयाँ मिलेगी, इट्स नॉट दैट कि आपको नहीं मिलेगी. तो ऐसे बहुत सारे चीज़ें थे. तो मैंने फर्स्ट बुक बहुत ही जल्दी लिखा और मैंने अगस्त 2020 में रिलीज किया तभी, ताकि लोग देखे करें. अभी भी देखो पेंडेमिक शुरू ही है, तो अभी भी जैसे सर ने भी कहा कि शुरू ही है. तो उधर फिर मैं जब उनके घर रहती थी और लॉकडाउन था तो उनके चिल्ड्रंस भी थे, अमृता, अर्चना, तो बड़ा ही सपोर्ट था हर किसी का. और हमने सोचा क्या बैठ के करें, बड़ा ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग करके फिर हमने सोचा चलो मैं किताब लिखती हूँ और ऐसे शुरुआत की. पब्लिशर्स भी नहीं मिलते थे और कोई हमारे लिए टाइपिस्ट नहीं मिलते थे, लेकिन कुछ ना कुछ हो गया और वी मैनेज्ड इट. तो उसके बाद फिर सेकेंड बुक के लिए भी त्रिवेदी मैडम ने कहा नो यू शुड राइट. हमारे अरविंद नातू थे, ही सेड नो यू शुड कंटिन्यू राइटिंग. तो हमने फिर सेकेंड बुक भी लिखा. थैंक यू. हाँ सर बोलिए.
हेलो गौरी मैडम, मैं आपको एक प्लाट देना चाहता हूँ कि आपने आपकी थर्ड बुक के लिए, जैसे मैं समझ पा रहा हूँ कि आपने ये कोरोना पे ये बुक लिखी है पूरी, और मैं आपको एक प्लाट देना चाहता हूँ कि आप उस पर बुक लिखना चाहेंगे. ये पब्लिक की बुक होगी, एलिट क्लास के लिए नहीं होगी.
ये भी पब्लिक के लिए ये किताबें, जिसको भी चाहिए तो पीडीएफ फाइल मिल जाएगी फ्री में पढ़ने को.
और बुक खरीद सकते हैं.
नहीं, आप को अगर मैं कोई प्लाट दूं तो आप उस पर लिखना चाहेंगी? कोरोना पे ही है वो.
कोरोना के लिए हाँ ज़रूर लिखेंगे.
तो मैं क्या ब्रीफ में बता सकूं आपको?
अभी नहीं, बाद में.
अच्छा ठीक है.
हाँ ठीक है ज़रूर. चंदा को दे.
नमस्ते गौरी जी.
हाँ जी नमस्ते.
जिस तरह की आप बहुत व्यस्त रहती हैं, बहुत सारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से आप जुड़ी हुई हैं और काफ़ी काम भी करती हैं, तो आपको कितना वक्त लगा ये सेकंड बुक कंप्लीट करने के लिए, और क्या आप सोचते हैं कि इसी तरह से आप और एक बुक लिख सकते हैं किसी और पोजीशन को लेके?
हाँ एक्चुअली सेकंड किताब में वक्त तो लगा, क्योंकि मैंने शुरुआत तो जल्दी किया. सेकंड पेंडेमिक में जब लॉकडाउन था, सेकंड लॉकडाउन, फिर थर्ड पेंडेमिक में भी लॉकडाउन था, लेकिन फिर हम भी व्यस्त हो गए काम में और थोड़ा मेरे वो जो इंटरव्यूज़ थे उनमें भी परस्यू करके, लेकिन फिर हो गया. थोड़ा लेट हुआ लेकिन हो गया, क्योंकि फिर मैं भी थोड़ा इजी ले रही थी कि बीच बीच में टाइम था वीकेंड में. लेकिन मैंने मेरा प्लान कर दिया कि अब इस टाइम पे हमको ख़त्म करना है, वो हिसाब से. और आगे जाके अभी निर्मला सामंत जी ने कहा है कि हम साथ में लिखेंगे, तो हम साथ में कुछ लीगल के बारे में, कुछ महिलाओं के बारे में लिखेंगे.
मेरा वही सवाल था कि
thank
क्योंकि आप एडवोकेट हैं और वुमेन्स एम्पावरमेंट के ऊपर बहुत काम करते हैं, तो क्यों ना एक बुक ऐसा लिखा जाए जिसमें महिलाओं की समस्याएं
लिखेंगे क्योंकि मैं महाराष्ट्र स्टेट वुमेन कमीशन की मेंबर हूँ. ये तो चेयरमैन रह चुके हैं, तो हम मिलके रखेंगे, डिसाइड हुआ है.
मैं चाहती हूँ एक किताब उसके ऊपर आप लिखें,
जरूर लिखें,
जो हमारी महिलाओं को काफी प्रोत्साहन दे.
थैंक यू.
धन्यवाद.
गौरी छाबड़िया के लिए एक बार जोरदार तालियां तो बजाइए. मातृशक्ति, किसी की बेटी है, किसी की बहन है. बेटियां जग से निराली, जिस घर में बेटी नहीं वो घर है खाली. मैं वुमेंस डे पे गौरी ने मुझे इनवाइट किया था. मैं छोटे से शहर से जलगांव भूसावल से आता हूँ और मैं प्रोफेसर रह चुका हूँ, सिंधी पढ़ाता था, अभी सिंधी भाषा का प्रचारक भी हूँ और हिंदुस्तान समाचार का एडिटर हूँ. गौरी के एक निमंत्रण पे सब प्रेस मीटिंग छोड़ के मैं इधर बहन के पास आ गया। बहुत इनके लिए जितनी तालियां बजाओ कम है। बस गौरी हमारी बहन, आप बढ़ती रहो। भाई बहन का रिश्ता प्यार का होता है।
शुक्रिया।
साल में एक बार राखी बांधती भाई को, लेकिन पूरा साल भाई के लिए सोचती मेरा भाई खुश रहे। जय झूलेलाल।
जय झूलेलाल।
I'd like to invite Advocate Ravi Jadhav, MPCC Legal Cell President of Maharashtra, to the podium.
It is nice to see when our students grow up. Ravi Jadhav being my student.
Only one thing, I'm very much happy that she has already done 2 fantastic books she has already published. We are inviting her कि लॉ के ऊपर भी कुछ लिखेंगे एंड आई एम वेरी मच हैप्पी आज हम उनको सोल्जर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी का किताब यहाँ दे रहे हैं इस प्रोग्राम में। थैंक यू।
We have actually met after very long, after pandemic. So I would also like to felicitate Ravi. He's become the chairman of the legal department in the MPCC Legal. Thank you. I request us, sir, to please do the honors.
It's always nice to see a teacher-student reunion, guys.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank each and every person who's come today. Everyone in Bombay has a very busy life. Every day is busy, but you all took time out to encourage Gauri Didi to give and take a look at her book. All the dignitaries on the stage, Mr. Suresh ji, Mr. Churi ji, thank you so much for coming. And our family members, Vandana Didi, Deepak ji, Amu Archu, Gauri Didi's elder sibling, his wife, my dad Nagesh Chhabria, his wife, my mom. Thank you so much for coming. And all the guests, thank you for all your questions, being interested and attentive, and clapping every time I asked you all to clap. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a good day. Yeah, you all can head towards the snack room.
Everybody can please have the snacks at the adjacent room. And also, if you all want to purchase the books today, we have the discounted rate and I can sign it for you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
खोल के भाई नहीं डाल के
अपना के वादा ही डैनी हुई हो।
हाँ, वादा ही है।
फोटो भी दे
ये मेरा बुक
खाया नहीं है।
सब लोग खा लो जिसने जिसने
हाथ में रखे ऐसे बैग ले लो। थैंक यू। इनको doing some collection for ya.
Yeah, no.
थैंक यू सो मच। ताकि सच्ची
प्लीज नाश्ता वाश्ता खाओ प्लीज। दो किताब चाहिए मेरे को, उनको 2 देना है। थोड़ा पीछे रहना। गौरी दे लिखो।
इट्स अ सेकेंड बुक और बहुत अच्छी तरफ उन्होंने ये किताब में जो वेरिएबल एक्सपीरियंसेस डिफरेंट आदमियों के लोग जो अपने बिजनेस करते हैं, कोई न्यूज़पेपर वाला, कोई केबल इंडस्ट्री वाला, कोई टीचर, कोई प्रोफेसर, कोई इंडिया का, दुबई का, ये सब वो लोग ने जो उनके जो तकलीफ़ें या उन्होंने जो एक्सपीरियंसेस ये कोविड 2 और 3 में किया है, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी तरफ ये चीज़ कैप्चर किया है। और अभी थोड़ा कोविड कम है, लेकिन जैसे किताब पढ़ते हैं हम सीधा पास्ट में चले जाते हैं या फ्लैशबैक में जाते हैं कि कैसे हमने वो दिन गुजारे हैं और कैसे तकलीफ़ें जिसको तकलीफ़ें हुई हैं वो कैसे उन्होंने वो एक्सपीरियंसेस करके वो टाइम ओवरकम किया है। तो किताब बहुत अच्छी लिखी गई है, लैंग्वेज बहुत सिंपल है, बहुत प्रॉपरली लिखा गया है और मैं उनको बेस्ट ऑफ विशेस देता हूँ। वो मेरी बड़ी बहन भी है एंड शी हैज़ डन अ फैंटास्टिक जॉब। शी इज़ अ मल्टी टैलेंटेड पर्सनैलिटी। वो एडवोकेट है, सोशल वर्कर है, राइटर है एंड आई विश ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर दिस बुक एंड एवरीवन शुड रीड इट एंड अपील टू ऑल द पीपल कि आप किताब पढ़िए और अपने जो भी रिस्पॉन्सेस है इस पर लिखिए। थैंक यू।
इसमें हमने 22 अलग अलग पर्सनालिटीज़ के इंटरव्यूज़ लिए हैं जो मोस्टली फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर्स हैं और ये बुक भी मैंने डेडिकेट की है टू ऑल फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर्स, जैसे कि पुलिस ऑफिसर्स हैं, डॉक्टर्स हैं, नर्सेज हैं, मीडिया में जो काम करते थे वो है, बीएमसी वर्कर्स हैं। तो ये सब को तो मैं सल्यूट करती हूँ कि ये लोगों ने इतना सेक्रीफाइसेस किया और इसलिए हम घर में आराम से बैठ सके। हमको लगता था कि हम घर में बहुत तकलीफ़ में हैं, लेकिन ये लोगों ने बड़ा ही ब्रेव स्टेप और करेज लेके बाहर मैदान में गए और बहुत सारा ये लोगों ने भलाई का काम किया। जिसको जैसे कि हमारे घर में वेंडर्स आते थे, दवाइयाँ देने आते थे, सब्जी देने आते थे, ब्रेड वगैरह देने आते थे, तो ये सब रिस्क लेके आते थे। उनके भी घर वाले हैं, लेकिन फिर वो लोगों ने वो सोचा नहीं और रिस्क लेके आए। कोई लोग मजबूरी से क्योंकि कमाई चाहिए इसके लिए कर देते, और कोई लोग जिनकी मजबूरी नहीं थी लेकिन एक सर्विस थी कि जैसे डॉक्टर है कि भाई हमारे देश को सर्विस करना है, जैसा कि पुलिस ऑफिसर है उनको देश को सर्विस करना है। ऐसे लोगों ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया। तो बहुत अच्छा लगा किताब लिखने के लिए और मैं चाहती हूँ हर कोई पढ़े, आज भी पढ़े और बस आगे भी पढ़ते ही रहें, क्योंकि इसमें फिर ही समझ में आएगा आपको कि दूसरे लोगों की तकलीफ़ें हमसे बहुत ज़्यादा थी, बहुत ज़्यादा थी। तो हमें लगेगा कि सचमुच हमें उनके विडोज़, उनके बच्चे, उनके लिए कुछ आगे करना चाहिए। धन्यवाद।